The year 2024, you and 2 other crews are on your ways to Mars. The trip takes about 2 years, and you guys are right outside the Martian atmosphere. When you guys start to enter the atmosphere, you have a bumpy ride down for about 8 minutes until you guys land. After some rejoicing and celebration in preparations for your first trip onto the red planet, you get ready. Right before you're about to take the first step, you think to yourself, am I gonna die doing this? The answer is yes. You most likely will die doing this. But you will be known in history forever for your sacrifices you made trying to colonizing a new planet. If you're probably gonna die, why are we choosing Mars? Well, first, it's the best planet to choose because it has a decent atmosphere, its terrain and everything else is kinda Earth-like, making it better to choose. Well, for starters, there's easily accessible water. The North and South Pole are both frozen, but every morning you will get little puddles of water from ice melting from that night. And that water can be used for anything from drinking to plants to, I don't know, having the first Martian water fight. Sounds fun. Another thing, not too big, is electricity. Like, you might want it. Probably helpful. I don't know. So, how are you going to get it? Well, you're going to get it from multiple sources. The main 3 probably will be nuclear, solar, and wind-powered. The reason you're getting it from 3 sources is because none of those 3 sources themselves actually have enough power or reliability to work to get your energy on Mars. First off, nuclear. Mars does not have much uranium, making it hard to mine out, costly to mine out, and very time consuming. So you're probably going to get most of your uranium from shipments when they're sending people over and supplies over. Wind energy, it's going to be hard to bring wind turbines, but when you do, they'll be useful, but they aren't the most effective. Even the big wind farms we have right now don't work the best, so even though Mars is extremely windy, it might not always be the best. And then we have solar panels with solar energy. Solar energy would be great if Mars, A, was a bit closer. Mars is farther away from the sun than the Earth is from the sun, making the energy less efficient. Also, there are highly toxic dust storms every now and then that can last days to weeks to months. That would block the sun from going to the solar panels, therefore creating no solar energy for who knows how long. So, yes, we'll have energy, but we'll have to try and get it from different sources. Another thing that you might find helpful is the temperature. Like, who would want to colonize a planet if it was too hot or too cold? Like, if it was really cold, why would you want to be there? Or really hot? Well, good thing for you, Mars has actually a decent temperature. The daytime it has an average of about 73 degrees. A nice, comfortable thing, even though you'll be in your spacesuit or indoors. But at nighttime, it gets down to be a bit colder. About negative 134 degrees. Just slightly colder. For that, you're definitely going to want to be indoors in a spaceship. I mean, there's also bigger reasons you want to be in a spaceship or indoors. Like, we need to breathe. So, what are you going to do? Is Mars's atmosphere not breathable? Not yet. But there are ways of terraforming an atmosphere. But the problem with that is it's going to take forever to actually terraform it. And the reason we want to terraform it is because the atmosphere is over 95% CO2, which is toxic to a human, and it would only take 3 minutes being out in the atmosphere to die. Along with that, there are those toxic dust storms, which the dust is extremely fine, so it could get into your lungs, it could get into your system, or anything. And that would also be extremely deadly. Another extremely cool thing about Mars is the atmosphere and magmosphere. The thing with these is they're extremely thin and small. That means it just lets those beautiful sun rays in. That's the beautiful sun rays which make cancer. So there's a very good chance that you'll be getting cancer sometime. It might not be big, it might just be something simple, without solutions like covering something in CO2 ice, it's going to be more dangerous to be out there. But hey, at least it has an atmosphere and a nice temperature. Some of the other planets that have atmospheres don't have nice temperatures, and no planets without atmospheres have nice temperatures. You know what time I think it is? It's time to talk about the toxic dust. So, where is this dust coming from, you might ask? Well, it's coming from the ground. Where else would dust come from? This is Mars. It's like Earth. It's got dust on the ground. But this dust, it's being swept away by wind. But we've had them before. But the thing about this dust is not all of the chemical compounds are right for us, and there's deadly chemical compounds and cancerous ones. So that makes the ground extremely toxic. On the actually really good side is the chemical compounds in this dirt/dust makes it able to support plant life. It's not the most nutrient rich, which can be fixed by fertilizing it. And fertilizer we can get from places like our bathroom and stuff. In the next 5 years we will be waiting for the 2024 space launch. This will include several trips of actually testing going around the moon with this stuff, with the ships we'll be using. So all we can do is wait and hope that technology does advance where some of these problems I've stated before can be fixed. And it probably will, but probably not in the ways we expect with how technology works. So I think it's just best to wait and hope the astronauts we send to Mars don't die in the thousands of ways we don't even realize you can die yet.